the easiest and most credible way to sell anything is to show results. You need to show results of your customers, your happy customers, those people who once had a need or a problem, and then they bought your product or service, or they benefited from the value that you offer, and they were transformed, and now they are a success story. That success story, that transformation, that happy customer is the most credible way to sell your products or your services. Why? Consumers are not stupid. They know that you're biased. You're not going to say anything bad about your product or your service. You're the most biased person they should even listen to. You are not objective. You are blinded either by the motivation to sell to them, to make money, or to push your product. So you're the most biased person they should be listening to. Which is why successful companies like Amazon have this structure where you can read reviews. So they give potential customers the opportunity to read what previous customers are saying about a product. And the truth is that the most credible person to hear from about what you sell is somebody that has bought from you before, or somebody who has benefited from your product or your service. So, and the additional benefit of using your results to sell is that it is a natural and organic and human way to sell. You are not doing it like most people that are sounding like irritants, who are like, buy my product, buy my service. I've not used this product before. I have not used this service before. Everything I know about what it can do is what you are telling me. There is no other way to verify. But there is another way to verify. If you can show me people who have benefited from your value and they got results, that is somebody I should be listening to. That is somebody I should be following. So I got inspired to make this video because I got feedback from people who watched my videos, my business lessons. There was one of them where I taught a strategy for the scarcity strategy. That customers, potential customers, they are wont to procrastinate. Human beings are procrastination engines. If you give people time to delay, they will take that time and even exceed it. So that is why it's not always beneficial when your product is eternally available. If it is eternally available, it's going to lose. People are not going to really want it because they feel they can buy it anytime they want. They can buy it tomorrow, they can buy it next week, they can buy it next year, they can buy it whenever. Which is why you hear, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you, meaning time is on my side. So what you do is you reverse the role. You introduce scarcity. There's scarcity of time, like a deadline. There's scarcity of opportunity, like a limited offer or limited capacity, where you cannot work with everybody. You only need a limited number of people. When people are in those circumstances, they have to act. And I shared this strategy on social media, and on one of them, I got a question. I think the lady is into selling thrift items, second-hand items. And I gave her a tip. And the most interesting thing for me is not that the tip worked for her, because she came back, as you can see on your screen, to say that she sold out all her items in 24 hours. And this is the fascinating thing about the work that I do. You may have something that feels like an elephant in your business, a big and disconcerting problem that has given you sleepless nights and trauma. But to somebody like me, that elephant is a fly, because I have been doing this for 10 years plus in different scenarios, different types of businesses. So I have the benefit of experience, a lot of experience working across industries. So that thing that is an elephant to you might be like a fly to me. So the interesting thing here is that within the 1 to 2 minutes it took me to type that reply, this lady that had been having this problem in her business came back to report that she was able to sell out. Now, the fascination for me, the second fascination, is not just that I was able to give somebody value for free and it worked for her. The fascination for me is that this person applied my advice and came back to give feedback, which is a problem we have these days on social media, particularly when people get things for free. The first problem I see is that many people come on social media because a lot of the things they get is for free, and they engage in intellectual masturbation, like constant and unceasing motivation. What I teach is not motivation. It's practical. Business is practical. It's something you engage with every single day. It's not theory. Business is a contact sport. You're always giving punches and you're taking punches on a daily basis. If it is not sales, it is finance. If it's not finance, it's profit. If it's not profit, your capital is running short. If it's not capital, it's your human resources dealing with human beings. If it is not, there's pressure to grow. If it's not pressure to grow, there's competition. You are dealing with all sorts of issues on a daily basis, right? So the joy for me is that you are able to give somebody advice for free, and that person doesn't abuse the fact that this thing that is very valuable I'm getting for free, and the person applies it and then comes and gives feedback. My strategy also is that I'm not interested in taking money from somebody who cannot afford the service. If you cannot afford me for today, I'm going to give you valuable stuff that will help you start growing your business. What I want is for you to grow your business to a point where you can then afford me. I've had people who will tell me, I read something you wrote 3 years ago, I started the business and so on, and now I want to sign up to your program, I want to do something, right? So it is my own way of nurturing my sales pipeline. There are people who are watching my content today that cannot afford my services, but if they consistently follow what I give them for free, by 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, they should be in a position where they can now afford the service. That's essentially what it is. The second feedback I got, I think this lady is into beauty products or spa, and she watched a video that I made on the price deflection strategy. Essentially, what that strategy is about is that most people want to buy something from you. They want to quickly know your price so that they can summarize you and judge you. And my position is that if you give away your price information too early, you are going to give people the chance to unfairly judge you and put you in a box. So what you do, I shared a couple of options, but one of them, which is what she applied, is that when people ask you what is your price, you get back to them with what is your budget, so that I can work within your budget. So what that does is that it puts the ball in the customer's court, and then you avoid this uncomfortable situation of giving somebody your price and then the person tells you, I'll get back to you. Of course, it turns into procrastination and they never get back to you. Instead, what is your budget? What it means is that I'm willing to work with you, but it depends on you. You know, unlike before when asking me for my price, what it means is that for you to buy from me depends on me and my price. No, now the tables have turned. I'm willing to work with you, but what is your budget? Depending on your budget, we can work. So this lady took this advice and ran with it and implemented it. And now she came back to report that, she was able to avoid that traumatic situation of giving people her prices and they tell her that they're going to get back to her. But she got a much more favorable outcome this time around. So what I urge you, because this video is about 2 lessons in one. The first one is the power of sharing the transformation stories of your customers. So these 2 people are not yet customers. Essentially, they are my students. They are people who got something from me for free on social media. They implemented it and they got results. But essentially, they've consumed value from me. And what it means is that for anybody, I don't need to ask you, for example, to join my business mentorship group. I don't need to push it on you. In a situation where I'm trying to push a product or a service to you, I can tell you a story like this, a real life story of somebody who has consumed value and they got results. They went through a transformation. I cannot sell my items. And then I made contact with John-Paul. John-Paul gave me insights, and now I've sold all my items in 24 hours, right? I used to have problem with pricing, and then I got value from John-Paul, and now I'm now in a more favorable position because I put the customer on the spot. I'm no longer the person who is on the spot. So that is the first lesson in this video, which is that the best way to sell what you sell is to show the results and the transformation of your customers. Their success stories, their journeys are a credible case study that sell you, not because the mistake people make is you are not the hero of your business. You are not the hero of what you sell. Standing in front of your product and you're not the hero. Your hero is somebody who had a problem or had a need. They used your product or your service and they transformed into somebody who doesn't have that problem anymore or who doesn't have that need anymore. That person is the hero. And that is the story you need to tell. You are the guide. You are the sensei. You are the coach. You were just standing on the sidelines and you facilitated that transformation. But the hero of the story are your satisfied customers. So how many of your satisfied customers are you not telling their stories? If you are in fashion, for example, your goal is not to sell your fashion items, buy my skirt, buy my this. No, Your goal is to make people jealous and envious. How do you do that? You showcase your happy customers. You showcase your work and what your customers are saying about your work. That is the best and the most unbiased way to sell what you sell. In fact, that is the most effective way to sell without selling. Why? Because rather than push, buy my product, buy my service, you are drawing people in. People see those success stories. People are inspired. People are motivated. And guess what they're going to do? They will come to the person that made that transformation possible. They will come to the person that made that success story possible. You, who made it possible, they come to you. So that is the first story. The best way to sell is to sell results. The second lesson in this video is for people who are running businesses or about to get into business and are in this unhealthy practice of getting knowledge for knowledge's sake. Business is not an academic practice. It's not one where you just read and you know. And when they sit down and say, you know book. No. Business is practical. It's a contact sport. It's like football or taekwondo. You have to be taking punches and giving punches. It's not something you read or watch on social media and just keep in your head. You have to go and practice it. And when you apply what you learn, two things will happen. Either of two things could happen. Is either you succeed, you apply that strategy, you apply that lesson, and you get the result you're looking for. You win. That's one possible outcome. The second possible outcome is that you try it and it doesn't work. That is not failure. That is you learning that strategy doesn't work in your business and you need to try something else. That is what builds your capability as an entrepreneur. Business is about solving problems on a daily basis. If it's not about sales, it's about raising capital. You're solving problems every single day. Any person who doesn't like problems cannot survive in business, particularly in Africa, where problems are waiting for you even before you wake up. So it's about solving problems. And the way to solve problems is to attack the problem with a potential solution. It's either you're able to unlock the problem or the problem remains stubborn and you have to try something else. So I'm speaking to people who are either just seeing me for the first time or have been in my circle. When you learn something, apply it and then come and give feedback. Right? That is one way. There's a gratitude element to it. You didn't pay for it. So the best pat on the back I can get is that you learned something, it worked, and you're like, thank you, it worked. There's gratitude to it, but I'm not doing it for the gratitude. I'm doing it for what it can do for you. Remember, it's mutual. I see you as a future customer, right? Then the second benefit is that you are getting it for free. Why would you waste something valuable? Apply it and get results. So if you're watching these two success stories, even though they are not from my client, if you want to see my client success stories, they're on my website, activatorhq.com, right? But essentially, these two testimonials, as it were, inspired this video. And if you're watching this in August, the Business Mentorship Group, the BMG, is live. We are going to go live on the 31st of August. For now, everybody who takes the assessment is in the waiting room. The Business Mentorship Group is for entrepreneurs and people in business. Is either you are about to start a business and you're thinking of which idea should I start, what kind of business should I start, how do I raise money, all those issues you have, all those questions you have to answer before you start a business, so that you do not fall into the 70% of businesses that fail early on. That is where my support can help you. Or you have started a business and you are experiencing the typical startup problems that occur with a business that is new. You are struggling to make sales, you are running out of capital, you need to raise more capital, you are dealing with operational issues. Or your business has been running for some time and you are facing all sorts of issues, from how you maximize or how you optimize profits. There are many businesses that are running and they're just running for running's sake. They don't want it to look or feel like they failed in business, because they're not profitable. They pay their salaries, they pay staff salaries, they pay rent, they pay suppliers, they pay everybody, but the owner of the business is not getting paid. There's no profit. So if you fall into that category where you're having a profit problem, money is coming into the business and money is going out, but you're not able to trap anything. This is controversial, but that's the truth. I'm a professional, I have to say it. It's not a spiritual problem. It's not a spiritual problem. You know, these things have been hacked. Business is a science. You can actually, particularly for accounting and finance, it is now a science. It's not an art. It's not an art. It's a science. You can actually tie down what is wrong with your sick business. And that's why you need somebody like me in your corner to help you see what you're missing and to help you plug holes that are making your business leak. So if you fall into any of this category, the other one I've not mentioned are people who want to take their business to the next level. You want to grow. You've been running the business for some time and you think it is time for this business to get to the next level. Maybe you're the bottleneck in the business. Maybe the business is not able to grow because without you, nothing happens. What you have is a cash generating machine. You don't have an asset that can run whether you are there or you are not there. So if you fall into any of these categories, the Business Mentorship Group is something you're going to get a lot. In fact, it's going to be the best investment you've made in your business in a very long time. But unfortunately, I'm one person. I cannot work with everybody. I can only work with a select group of people. And since they are select, I insist that they have to be high quality people, like the kinds of people who learn something and they apply and they give feedback so that we can make progress. I don't like people who just sit there and they're just waiting for knowledge and they're just interested in the novelty of knowledge. Most of the things that will fix your business are not new. They are not waiting to be invented. They've already been solved, right? So we can get it going and move your business to the next level. So if you're interested in joining the Business Mentorship Group, the BMG, the link should be on your screen right now or somewhere above this video or below this video. If you've taken the assessment to join the BMG and you are currently in the waiting room, waiting for the 31st of August, please leave a comment below this video to let me know you're in the waiting room, because what it means is that you're a special person to me. You were able to scale that assessment and you made it into the waiting room. So I need you to just say hello and let other people know too that you made it through, because I've got all sorts of feedback. The questions are too many. I cannot answer the questions. It's a selection process. What if you can't answer the questions? It means you don't qualify to get into the BMG. It's that simple. So it is a self-qualifying process. And for those people who have completed the questionnaire, you would have noticed too that it is a diagnostic tool. There are things you have not really sat down to think about your business that the assessment forced you to think of. Right? Things that are your strengths in your business, your weaknesses, opportunities, and things like that, both on a personal dimension and the dimension of your business. So if you are going to be one of the lucky people who join us inside of the BMG on the 31st of August, I'm really looking forward to help redefine your journey as an entrepreneur and help to significantly improve your business. Essentially, I need to put the John-Paul signature on that business so that you know that there was a before and an after. And in between, there was a transformation. And that transformation happened when I joined the BMG by John-Paul Iwuoha. Until my next video, stay well. Bye.